The intersection of the criminal justice system with the immigration system creates a collaboration that puts vulnerable, undocumented youth at an even higher risk.
Deportation can look similar to life in prison, is being removed from society permanently.
Luis Saha is a communications and digital media strategist for the California Immigrant Youth Justice Alliance, also known as CJA.
We work with folks who have been raided or mistreated or have their rights violated by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which we call ICE.
When undocumented youth are detained by law enforcement, they go through the criminal system and then they face immigration proceedings.
Immigrants have to navigate both a racist criminal justice system and an immigrant justice system.
So we call it Crimmigration, which is a criminal and immigration system coming together and creating a double punishment for undocumented folks, but specifically for youth.
Fabi Hakome is a deportation defense organizer at Orange County Immigrant Youth United in Santa Ana. OCIYU is led by undocumented immigrant youth. Like CJA, this organization works to help those who come in contact with what some say is a very flawed immigration system.
Immigration is actually really mean, which I know it's not anything that is a secret or is hidden. Everybody knows that they're really mean. But I think it's the way that they question people, the way that they try to emit so much authority that can be like a very traumatizing experience.
When ICE gets involved, families are often separated, and young people are left to help support their families while a parent is deported, or they themselves are detained in immigration centers with very poor conditions.
We have had folks that have developed PTSD because of it, and so they can't look at police officers or anybody in uniform.
There's the misconception in the public that the immigration system is fair.
Paul Sok was born in Thailand and was brought to the U.S. as a 2-month-old baby by his Cambodian parents. He is now 36 and facing the possibility of deportation.
Oh, if you've been here forever, there's a way for you to stay. If you came as a juvenile, you're brought as a baby and infant, that there are ways for you to stay, that they won't deport you, and that's not the case,
In September, Attorney General Jeff Sessions announced that DACA is being rescinded. The DACA program was implemented under President Obama, and it gave undocumented youth who were brought to the U.S. at a very young age protection against deportation.
Now that DACA is being rescinded, these youth are exposed to just immigration enforcement overall.
Advocacy groups like CJA and OCIYU work to create more awareness of the crimmigration problem and influence more sanctuary policy like the Truth Act and the Trust Act, which increase transparency in law enforcement and ICE procedures.
We don't have an ally in the White House, but we do have people who say they're allies at the local level.
Paul Sok, who has dealt with the system firsthand since he was 17, is constantly involved with groups like the Youth Justice Coalition, which pushes for more schools and youth programs instead of prisons.
We've made it a little more accessible, and that's because of community power and people power. And so that's another thing I want to create to the youth, the undocumented youth, that there is power with our people, with our community. We just have to use it.
Regardless of the anti-immigrant rhetoric in the White House, so many groups like OCIYU and CJA always emphasize the importance of community power. Reporting for Los Angeles, I'm Lauren Floyd.